Your passion is waiting for your courage to catch up.
Fantastic Radio UK. Your life, your possibilities.
Billie Holiday told me that I was going to be famous. She said I wouldn't be famous for singing. It was obvious. But she said, you're going to be famous. But remember, you can't get so high, somebody won't try to bring you down. So my great aspiration, my greatest ambition is to be so good. Now, in that way, I'm tiresome, as I suppose, to live with, because I want to be a fantastic human being. Basically, people are afraid to die, so they clutch to something which they think will preserve their lives. So they try to guarantee happiness to themselves by shunting dirt and misery off on someone else. That's Sterling Brown. Sterling Brown's poem, The Strong Man. People feel if I can keep them out of this building, them off this street, them out of this employment line, I'll live a little longer. They don't think it consciously, but that is fundamental. People are afraid to be pried loose from their ignorance because they know their ignorance so well, they know it better than they know their body odors. And if you say, come on, give up your ignorance, they get into that terrible position, terrifying position, which Shakespeare talks about at the end of the soliloquy, Hamlet's soliloquy. They'd rather bear the ills they have than fly to others that they know not of. Thus conscience doth make cowards of us all. So they are cowardly. I mentioned courage, and I would like to say something else about that. Finding courage in the leaders and in you who will become leaders. Courage is the most important of all the virtues, because without courage, you can't practice any other virtue consistently. You see? You can't be consistently kind or fair or humane or generous, not without courage. Because if you don't have it, sooner or later you'll stop and say, The threat is too much. The difficulty is too high. The challenge is too great. You know, I believe that self-love is very important. If you read my work, you know I'm always talking about loving oneself. I never trust anybody who tells me he or she loves me if the person doesn't love herself or himself. There's an African saying which is, be careful when a naked person offers you a shirt. I mean, if he had something, he'd cover himself first, right? So I like to look at self-love. It is very important that it comes from within, that you have a sense of yourself, so that when you walk into an office, you don't go alone. Bring your people with you. Bring everybody who has loved you with you. Say, Grandma, come on, let's go. Great grandpa, you've been dead all this time. Come on, let's go. I have to go in here and have an interview. Come on, Auntie. Come on, my friends. Come, let's go. And when you walk in, people don't know what it is about you. They can't take their eyes off you. You may not be cute in the given sense. You may not be fashion model size in that particular sense. You may not be any of those things, but they can't take their eyes off you. And they say of you, in this incredible way, which I don't understand, they say, I don't know, but she has charisma. No, what you have is all those people around you. So think of that. Anytime you have anything to do, bring everybody with you that you can remember who has loved you. And then you have that sense of having been paid for. And when you walk in, people will say, now, I think you're overqualified. Yes, you will have that, but you'd have that anyway. How do I think the world would be if 1% of the world's population was complaint-free? Einstein said no genius has ever used more than 18% of the brain. But today's geophysicists say no genius has ever used more than 10% of the brain. The majority of us mumble and get around with 5, 6, 7%. If we've been able to stay alive at all, alive and future thinking, alive and having enough courage to care for each other, enough courage to love, and know that we're probably 1% free. I mean, less 1% of 60 million free of complaints. Imagine, who would we be? Who would we be if we were 1% of 600 million, 6 billion? What would happen? I tell you one thing, I think war would be laughed out of the room. I think the very word, if somebody said war, another person would say, you mean, am I supposed to kill somebody because he doesn't agree with me? I don't think so. Just imagine. People would speak kinder, more kindly to each other. Courtesy would be invited back into the living room, into the bedroom, into the children's room, into the kitchen. If 1% of our world was complaint-free, we would care more about the children and realize that every child is our child. The black one and the white one, the pretty one, the plain one, the Asian and the Muslim, the Japanese and the Jewish, everyone is our child. If we were just 1% free of complaint, imagine that we would stop blaming other people for our mistakes and hating them because they caused the mistake in our minds. Just imagine if we laughed more frequently, if we had the unmitigated courage to touch each other. It would be just the beginning of paradise, you know. Thank you.
I just knew that they support people no matter what. I think that's all I really knew about Samaritans.
I think we should all be Samaritans. I've always brought the children up to know that they're okay, so mum's going out to take care of people that need a little bit of help. Anyone can call with anything. You're never ever judged.
I raised money for the Belfast branch. They said, you know, we're always looking for volunteers here. So that was that. They don't give advice. They don't tell you what to do. For me, that's one of the biggest reasons that Samaritans works.
Sometimes people can go weeks without speaking to someone. We're sociable creatures. You know, we're not meant to be alone. I've tried to take my own life a couple of times previous. I rang the Samaritans, I felt safe pretty much instantly. I felt that trust. I was glad at the time when I had someone to talk to.
Not everyone sleeps at night. It can be a really lonely time. So where do people go? What do people do? Who do people talk to? I think it's important that they're there 24/7.
At night is when your mind can take you to places that you didn't need to go.
Through my own struggles, I kind of appreciated the value of talking. It's all about that connection. People need people. You know, what drives us is our emotions and feelings.
The second that you put the phone down, another call comes in. It's really a privilege to be able to be part of this network.
It is powerful, there's no two ways about it.
The donations that people give are incredibly important to keep the centres running.
We do a lot of outreach, whether that's going to schools or prisons. It's everyday people talking to everyday people, I suppose.
Thank you for taking my call. Before we continue, could you say the first and third digits of your security PIN? I didn't catch that. Sorry. That's the second and fourth, please. Okay, lovely. All gone through. Did you see what I did there?
It's a scam. Never reveal your full security PIN, even if you think it's your bank calling. Learn how to protect yourself from fraud.
3, 2, 1, hit it.
Welcome. I'm about to take you on a trip to a new place.
A place
introduced
by the new Peugeot.
10777. You will discover the city bug speaks to you and you
and you.
Whether it's style,
fun,
pleasure, or pure driving exhilaration,
you'll find it all
here. 707. Are you ready?
Drive slowly. Even slower than that. I demand you drive well below the speed limit. And be careful. 10 times as careful. And look at everyone else on the road as if they're homicidal maniacs. In fact, I insist you drive more cautiously than you did on your driving test, because I am your newborn baby. And these are my rights.
If your newborn's making you more safety conscious than ever, check out Britain's most popular place to buy a car seat. Mothercare, for that nerve-wracking, heartwarming process called parenting.
The will to win, the desire to succeed, the urge to reach your full potential. These are the keys that will unlock the door to personal excellence. You can today enjoy Fantastic Radio UK via the TuneIn app by searching Fantastic Radio UK.
I come to you this morning with greetings from the Fantastic Radio team. I arrive with good tidings, bouncing out with hope, joy, conviction. My heart is gladdened again, and I'm happy to be your way or be coming your way this morning. It's 20 minutes. 20 minutes. Past 7 in the morning. On Fantastic Mornings, I welcome you to this beautiful, fruitful, productive Monday morning. As I always do, I commence and start by asking you, how are you? How are you doing? How is life treating you? And how was your weekend? How was your weekend? Did you have a good weekend? Did you have time to spend with the family and relations and people in your life? I welcome you to this Small Things Appreciation Monday. Small Things Appreciation Monday. I'll tell you why I labeled this morning the small or appreciating small things. I go straight into it, but before we do that, we sometimes never know the value of a moment until it becomes a memory. We can be so engrossed and overwhelmed and overpowered by the desire for bigger things and hoping and going for the gigantic hopes and bigger dreams that we can easily forget the small things. On Saturday, two things happened. I had to go spend some time with a friend whose grandmother had passed away. So we sat at the funeral. Everything was going on. The function was going on. And a friend of mine who hasn't cried, who has not gone through weeping, cheered up, and he cried. He cried heavily. Prior to the tears coming, he hadn't been able to cry. According to him, he said he hasn't been able to really mourn the mother the way he thought he should. So he's thinking whether there's something wrong with him. And he was really concerned and worried. So I remember he kept on coming, asking me, do you think there's something wrong with me? I said, there's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with you. You are expressing your pain and your grief the best way you can. And I even made a joke saying, look, you have never missed a loved one like this before. So you have every right to feel the way you are feeling. Fast tracking the conversation though. So whilst the event was going on, his time came for him to go and read his tribute. Just as he started reading, he just burst into tears. And excruciating pain, kind of crying, and he really wept. And I kept wondering, what is going on here? So I saw a gentleman walking, through the crowd coming, and he cuddled him and they had a conversation and he carried on. After the funeral, I was having a chat with him. And he said to me, Kojo, I have not been able to cry or really grieve this loved person because I've so been involved with the running and organizing this whole event. But when I saw my friend who had flown all the way from Barbados to come in to stand with me at such a sensitive, private time, it broke me down. The kindness that was or that has been displayed towards me broke me loose. So funeral was on Saturday. On Sunday went to church, and from there we went in to have conversations, ate something. But whilst we're eating, I had a chat with a friend who had flown in off from the Caribbean, and I asked, why did you come at that same time? Or when you arrived, what was going through your mind? He said, look, I just felt I had to come in and stand with my friend. And he said, Kojo is nothing. He's been my friend for many, many years. This is nothing big. It's such a small thing. And it really dawned on me that to the person who came in to extend that kindness, it was nothing. It was a small thing. He just flew in, came in to spend time with his friend. But to the friend, it wasn't just a small thing. That act of kindness went a long way to just break him loose out of this season of sadness that he had never had the courage and the strength and broken himself loose, right, to even cry. The visitation that he came all the way from the Caribbean to stand with his friend allowed him to feel so loved, appreciated, and kindness. What is the small thing you're doing for somebody that to you is a small thing? That to you is nothing. You're just showing kindness. But you will be surprised. The things that you and I would have to do, or the things that we do, that we might think it's often this is nothing. We just bought him a book. I asked somebody, good morning. It's nothing. But to other people, they might be bigger things. I welcome you this morning to the Fantastic Mornings. My name is Kojo Bonti Amwako. We're going to do music. When we return, I've got a few things I've prepared and sharing with you as we travel this morning. Good morning to the production team, Sina, Carrie, Kirsty, and everybody that makes this happen. Good morning to you. Welcome. Thank you.
Execution is what converts human dreams into significance. You can connect with Britain's home for the Afropolitan on Instagram. Search Fantastic Radio UK.
Attention passengers on platform 11. I'm sorry to announce that there's been a serious incident on the line. We know that there was one individual involved. She was 28-year-old Sarah Wilson. Sarah left a note before leaving her house because she had decided to take her own life. But I'm very pleased to tell you, she didn't go through with it. Because someone took the time to stop and talk to her. That was all it took to interrupt Sarah's suicidal thoughts. I know this because I am Sarah. I'm sharing my story today to spread an important message. That a little small talk can be all it takes to help start someone on a journey to recovery. So if you think someone might need help, trust your instincts. Stop and have a chat. Even a question about the weather can be enough. Or tell a member of staff. You could help save a life.
My name is Tony Anthony John Hicks. I've had throat cancer. They've come in and removed my voice box. This was caused by smoking. Don't smoke. Do not smoke.
Anthony Hicks also found it difficult to listen when people warned him to stop smoking. Sadly, he died of throat cancer last year. For help giving up smoking and details of your local NHS Stop Smoking service, call 0800 169 0169.
I reserve the right to strip naked in your garden. I reserve the right to put my clothes on backwards in the morning and to wear my palest dress when I'm painting. I reserve the right to remove as many of my clothes as possible when you've just dressed me. And however long you've taken to get me ready and however nice I look, I reserve the right to swap my clothes for some wellies, a tutu and a policeman's helmet, because I am your toddler and these are my rights.
If it's time your toddler had a stylish new outfit, check out our latest fashion ranges at Mothercare. Mothercare, for that exasperating, enchanting process called parenting.
Alan Wicker here. Let's imagine a game of musical chairs. All good fun, but you never know which seat you're going to get or if you'll get one at all. When you book with Travelocity, you could be choosing your exact seat on over 30 airlines. So when you get to the plane, Fat Roger won't have got to your seat first. Travelocity.co.uk. Hello, world.
ATOL protected.
Excellence is to do a common thing in an uncommon way. You can listen to Fantastic Radio UK today on LG Smart TV.
You find us on all the other platforms, particularly if you go on most social media platforms, you would find us. You go on Samsung Smart Television, and you will certainly find us. And on Roku Television, you can find us and be able to listen to us. For those who are listening to us on all our platforms but haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel yet, you have to do that. It could be something very, very small to you, just clicking, going on a screen, liking, enjoying the conversation. And if you don't, let us know why you don't. Just add a comment or you email us, hello@fantasticradio.co.uk, right? But I'll be very glad, pleased, excited, very, very, very happy to have you subscribing to our YouTube channel. Okay, please do that if you can. I'll be very pleased to to have you subscribe. So when we come on, you'll be able to pick us up and be able to engage and interact and get a conversation going. We've been sharing with ourselves, or I've been sharing with you, appreciating the small things. And I remember I said to you that moments that passes we don't appreciate until it becomes a memory. And I mentioned also that on Saturday, a friend of mine whose mother had passed, we had gone in to spend some time in celebrating her. But whilst we're celebrating, we noticed that, let me just shut this thing off. I noticed that we would have to, I noticed that he said to me he hadn't cried, or he didn't feel as though he had mourned his mother rightly. So I said, what do you mean? She said to me, I don't really feel I've cried enough. And in the middle of she giving the eulogy, or speaking and reading of the mother, she burst into tears. It was when I asked why and what happened, and it said a friend of hers who she had known many, many years had come in, and she saw saw him in the crowd, and it broke completely, got him off. And I said, what was it? And the remark that made me prepare this morning is the fact that somebody saw the need and felt that she was that special to come through all the way from Barbados to spend the time, with her, because she wasn't expecting this person to be in the crowd at all. And that broke her. It was when I was having a chat with this friend who had come through from all the way from the Caribbean, and I asked, why did you come? And he said, look, I've known this person for many, many years, but I felt I had to come in and spend some time with her in this dying moments and this crucial, sensitive period in her life, because I thought that she deserves this gesture. This is nothing, is what it said. It's a small thing. Flying in to come in and spend time with her is a small thing. I come here all the time, but I felt I had to come in and spend time with her. To him, it was a small thing. But to this person who had lost their mother, it was a huge thing. This morning, we are appreciating small things. The lady that opened the door for you, the guy that gave you a lift, the sister who prepared breakfast for you, the gentleman who, when you went to a tailoring shop, did your trouser for you. You went to Asda or the supermarket, and this person who pulled a trolley for you, and you got it. Your mother who you called to check on, the son who went to the kitchen to fetch you water, the wife or the partner, the husband that gave you a cheek, a kiss on your cheek. It could be very small. It could be very, very small, but it goes a long way. The first thing I would love us to do, there are moments, but here are some of the moments. Some of the moments will be a moment of laughter. All right? What makes you laugh? What brings you joy? What brings you this bubbliness or sense of hope and laughter? Take time every day or sometime to laugh. You'll find it's contagious and it's very uplifting. So that's the first moment that you can watch out for. A moment of laughter. It might pop up on a screen, but a moment of laughter. There are small things that you can see around you that can make you laugh. You can watch television. I am a big, big fan of Ricky Gervais and Marion Wood, and I love comedy, and I will watch and make me laugh. The first thing, a moment of laughter. Sina, can we please have it on the screen, please? A moment of laughter, right? And because the moment of laughter can gives you this it gives you this complexion on life. It adds color. It's very contagious. The thing is, I laugh, and sometimes my laughter can make other people laugh. Do you know people like that? You know, because laughter uplifts your soul. The second thing, moment of celebration. Right? That moment of celebration, you know, we don't take the time to celebrate small things enough. You know, you weren't learning how to drive, now you can drive. That's the moment of celebration. You know, yesterday your daughter walked. That's a moment of celebration. You are alive this morning. That is a moment of celebration. Your girlfriend prepared you a beautiful meal, or your boyfriend took you out to Häagen-Dazs. You know, that's a moment of celebration. You know, you've been wanting to read a whole about 2-4 pages in a book that you've never or had never thought you were going to do, and you did it. That's a moment of celebration. These small moments helps us to add value, add color, and add it helps us to create memories. That's the thing, right? This weekend also, I called a friend, and very busy businessman just popped in and said, listen, how are you doing? You know, how are you doing? How's life treating you? And he said, I'm well. So we're talking. I said, what are you doing this weekend? Guess what he told me he's doing? He said, I'm playing with my daughter on the floor. He said, my daughter has just learned how to read 1 to 10, right? And I'm sitting on the floor in my living room playing with him. What a powerful, powerful moment. I said, what are you doing? He said, I'm sitting on the floor. I'm just literally on the floor with my daughter, Kelly, and we are playing. Good morning to you, Kelly. And good morning to Kelly's daddy, who knows himself, who is listening. Good morning to you, Darren. He said, I'm sitting on the floor playing with my daughter, who learned how to count 1 to 10. And we're just celebrating. To you and I, or to other people, it's nothing, you know, a child learning how to read 1 to 10. What is it? But he had taken the moment to create a memory that he would cherish forever. Can I share the third one as we prepare to get to music? The third one is a moment of reflection. We all lead busy lives, and it's important to at least take a moment, do nothing, and sit and reflect. I remember a few years ago, I had gone in for a business mentoring, no, a business coaching session, and I remember the business coach, Ursula Charles, her name is, and she said, you need time to reflect on this journey. Reflections and reflecting allows you to map your journey to get your coordinates. I tend to use that phrase quite a lot because I borrowed from her many years ago. And she said, reflections allows you to have the time to focus. And I said, when I go into reflection, I end up thinking and wondering, and sometimes I doze off. What's my confession? She said, I can understand that, but you need to practice it and make it a practice for it to become a habit. Reflections or reflecting is not worrying, right? Reflecting allows you to sit and ponder. It allows you to rechew. It allows you to inflect. Take the journey inside and ask yourself, what is it that I have to do that I haven't done? What is it that I have to do that I can do more? What is it that I'm doing that I can add value more to myself? What is it that I have to stop? What is it that I have to do to add value to other people? Reflection. The moment of reflection. And you don't have to necessarily sit in your sofa, or you don't have to sit, in a sacred place or in a garden somewhere. We reflect as we do. Again, if you're driving, please don't go into reflection. You got to focus. Right? Let's do music. When we return, I have 2 other more I'd love to share with you. I'm so glad that you are here and you're having this conversation with us. How are you doing? You enjoying the conversation? It's hashtag appreciating small things Monday. Did you send money this weekend? Have your family member or the person you send the money to, have they received it? Was it smooth? Was it easy? I have one question for you. Who did you use in sending the money? That's a question. Did you use World Remit? I'm glad you did. And how was the whole transaction? Was it brilliant? Was it good? I'm glad you did. And for those who haven't used World Remit before, it's fast, it's secure, it's very, very, very straight to the point. I used them this weekend. As soon as it left, under an hour, they got it. I would highly recommend you go www.worldremit.com and make this money transfer possible. Let's do music. We'll be right back. I'm glad you were here. My name is Kojo Bonti Amwako. Right back.
Fantastic Radio UK podcast. Questions, conversations, answers.
Hello? You to me are everything, the sweetest song that I could sing. Oh, baby, Wait.
A mobile top-up card and 2 helium balloons, £17.
Who picks you up each time you're down? Oh, baby. Wait.
Making your girlfriend laugh,
Wait.
however far away she is. Priceless. There are some things money can't buy. For everything else, there's MasterCard, accepted for all kinds of tricks and treats.
Yeah.
Look at your hands. Look at them. Look how far they've come. They've grown. They've learnt. They've loved. They've lost. They've loved again. Your hands have worked, struggled, created and mastered. They worked hard for this. It was worth it. With World Remit, you can instantly send money abroad, knowing that you're in safe hands. World Remit. Money in safe hands.
Can't believe this weather.
No.
Can't believe this weather. Thank you. Can't believe this weather. Sorry. I said I can't believe. Can't believe this weather. Is everything all right?
Fantastic Radio UK can be heard at www.fantasticradio.co.uk. Your music, your possibilities.
Welcome back. Your music, your possibilities, feeling fantastic and doing fantastic. I welcome you back on Fantastic Radio, home for the Afropolitan. We'll be sharing a few moments and sharing with you the moments that you and I would have to appreciate and making sure that we take advantage of. This morning, we're focusing on the small things, appreciating the small things, appreciating the little things that we go through and we experience through life. I'm all for the bigger things. I'm all for the humongous stuff that we do. But the most important thing that I feel or I suggest we would have to look at are the small things. Your kids have been in school and they've returned and taken time off. And being at home with them, it could be, or it can also be, a moment where you can reflect and enjoy the moment. My son is in boarding school, and when he comes in, we take time to reflect, inflect, and celebrate. It could be just a bottle of fizzy drink or a bit of pizza, and we sit and we enjoy, reflect, and enjoy the moment. The last thing is a moment of connection. Human beings are social beings, so it's important to take at least a moment to connect with people around us. For those of us who are lucky to have partners, husbands, wives, it helps. It helps to take the moment to celebrate that connection. It helps when we can take just 5 minutes to celebrate each other. Our colleagues that we work with, reaching out to them and finding out, how are you doing? That human connection. Now we can meet, we can connect. Let's do that. All right? Because we never know the importance a person will place on that small gesture, the small things that a person will do for you or you can do for somebody. I am glad that you lend me your ear this morning, that we've had this conversation. I thank you for trusting me with your ear. I'm glad. I've had 2 people reach out asking, what's the best email to reach you guys if you want to do business with you? You go sales@fantasticradio.co.uk. That's all you need to do. You go sales@fantasticradio.co.uk. Sales team are available. Okay, we will talk you through how to do that. Okay, so if you want to advertise with us, do business with us, partner with us, sponsor this morning shows and all the other shows that will be coming through on the platform, please email at sales@fantasticradio.co.uk. I say 2 things with Pat Company. Thank you for your time. If you haven't gotten your ticket to go or going into the UK Black Business Show, I highly recommend you go www.ukblackbusinessshow.co.uk. I have been, I have loved it, and I highly recommend you going on there. Get your ticket, get on there, come through. Let's have a brilliant time together. Last week, for those who were able to make it to the property investors event, at the Excel, thank you. I saw 2 people there. They said, hi, Kojo. I was listening to you on YouTube. Oh, God. I said, yes, thank you. And I'm glad. I met 2 people there. It was brilliant. It was such a fantastic 2 days. Fantastic 2 days. I hope it was beneficial, and I hope it added value to your property acquisition journey. And a lot of people came through to learn a lot of stuff. You never know who you will meet in this environment. Don't forget, one of the things we'll have to do, that moment of connection. There are good people available. White, black, Asian, gay, tall, short. Let's make ourselves available and not close our minds, right? Because we need human beings to making our dreams, our possibilities possible. I'll leave you with this message that Maya Angelou said. By the way, today happens to be the birthday of Maya Angelou. And Maya Angelou, was an American poet and a woman who told stories and empowered everybody, black, Asian, lesbian, gay, binary. He was such a woman who embraced everybody, had a particular love for people who were all inclusive, and she was big on diversity. And Maya Angelou today is her birthday. So if she had been alive, we'll be celebrating her birthday today. But nevertheless, we are celebrating her birthday today. Happy birthday to Maya Angelou, or the late Maya Angelou. And we thank her for the stories she told. We thank her for the poems she wrote and the books that she also wrote. I want to thank you, mostly every one of you who've gone on our social media platforms, or those who are listening on all our platforms. I want to sincerely thank you. I wish you a fruitful and a very, very, very fantastic morning as you sail through the day. Never allow anything to zap your energy away, right? But tap into your own greatness. It's all inside. Make it happen. Just in case you love to transfer money to any loved person across Ghana, Nigeria, Togo, Jamaica, Barbados, I highly recommend the World Remit platform for you. Do have yourself a fantastic morning, and I'll be with you on Wednesday. We'll be taking a break after the next few shows, but I'll be keeping you posted as we go on. But most of all, I want to say, you have yourself a fantastic day, and I'll be with you on Wednesday. Take care. I thank the production team, Sina, Carrie, Kirsty, Allegro, for the brilliant work that you guys put in. I'll be with you on Wednesday. My name is Kojo Bonti Amwako. Take care, and bye-bye, and bye for now.
Look at your hands. Look at them. Look how far they've come. They've grown. They've learnt. They've loved. They've lost. They've loved again. Your hands have worked, struggled, created and mastered. They worked hard for this. It was worth it. With World Remit, you can instantly send money abroad, knowing that you're in safe hands. World Remit. Money in safe hands.